Hello everybody, how are we all doing? It's been a little minute since well, I've actually been filming all week, but this will be the first video that you see, so it's been a minute since we've had a chat. I am actually about to get ready. I'm gonna sit here and I have had this bag of new things looking at me for the longest time now, and I thought I would sit down and get ready. I also asked you on Instagram if you guys had any questions, anything you wanted me to talk about while I'm here. So what's in the bag? I actually have, these are kind of exciting, the new Beauty Blender foundations. This is the Bounce foundation. It's a liquid whip longwear foundation and it's got this really weird packaging. I think you're supposed to, where is my Beauty Blender? Here it is. I think you're supposed to pump the foundation onto this and then use it like a palette. Pump this out onto here. Seems so wrong to actually get foundation on your packaging. So let's have a look at the questions. First question is, how are you? Oh guys, that's nice. So yeah, I guess you guys are wondering why I haven't been uploading for the last couple of weeks or sporadically. Oh, this foundation is very full coverage. It's kind of been a month of just taking time for myself, and I know I do that a lot, but I'm also a big advocate of really, if you are able to and you have the time to invest in yourself, to just do that as much as you can, whether that's taking a week off, a day off, a couple of hours off. I think it's too easy to get caught up in things and not take time for yourself. So that's what I've been doing. I've been working as normal, just not being on camera, planning some things that are coming up soon, planning to kind of maybe do a little bit more than I have. I've definitely taken a step back from traveling, from going to a lot of things recently, and that's something that I would like to do a little bit more of now, I think. I think I'm ready to do that. So yeah, that's exciting. The second question that I'm seeing a lot is, are you dating? Guys, I am so bad at just all of that. Tinder, what even is Tinder and why does it exist? Can I just say, by the way, this foundation is really, really nice. It's definitely quite a lot of coverage, but it's still a bit glowy, a bit fresh. I like that a lot. This is still weirding me out though. I'm gonna have to go and clean this in a minute. Like I said, I've been taking the time to kind of just focus on myself. And in the words of RuPaul,
if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you gonna love somebody else?
It's not been something that's massively a priority for me, if I'm honest. I think getting myself in the place to be there first is going to be more important to me than actually just going out and starting dating. But I mean, I'm not saying that it's not something that I'm doing. It's just an odd thing to talk about. I guess when you've been in a long-term relationship for most, if not all actually, of your adult life, which those kind of things tend to start from school and places like that, college, which is what mine did. It's a very strange and weird world to find yourself in, having not been there before. So yes, you won't be seeing any dating chronicles on my channel here. I think that's probably pushing it a little bit too far. But I'm not gonna say that there's no one in my life at the moment. Feeling like I'm being super elusive. It's not that exciting, guys, don't worry. But yeah, I am enjoying my time alone, I guess. I've not really been alone since I was a teenager, which was a very, very long time ago. Okay, quick little makeup checkup. I really like that foundation a lot. I've just used the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, which since I got the shade Creme Brulee, has been my go-to concealer. I've really been back into enjoying this. It was one that I used a long, long time ago. So that question actually leads on to another one that I've seen in here, which is, how are you finding living alone? So I've been living alone now for over a year. It's really been that long. I don't know if I could go back to living with a person now. I very much enjoy having my own space, and I've really kind of, I don't know, I feel like I've made this house very much my own now, and I don't have to kind of abide by anybody else's routines. I don't have to think about anybody else. It's nice to be a little bit selfish actually and not have to compromise. It's a massive, massive revelation. So I've gotten into a really good routine recently with living here and taking care of the house. Oh my God, I'm also so into Mrs. Hinch on Instagram. I've been hinched. I'm desperate for a minky. It's not gonna make sense to so many people, but If you know, you know. Also with running, I can kind of run whenever I want. I don't know, it's just nice to have a place that is my own and nobody else's. So yeah, I am a homebody. I am very, very much a homebody. So maybe in fact, I spend a little bit too much time at home. But I think for those of you asking the question, wanting to know what it is like to live alone, it definitely does take some adjusting to, depending on what you've come from as well. If you're used to living with people or a certain someone in your life. It wasn't easy to begin with just because I was so accustomed to having somebody else there. And again, routines were different. The way you do a food shop is different. The way you cook dinner is different, even down to the small little bits like that. It is something to adjust to, but yeah, I really, really think living alone has taught me a lot of things, especially about myself, which is never a bad thing. So these two are a really, really cool new launch. As you guys will probably know, Charlotte Tilbury's lip liner in the shade Pillow Talk, best thing ever, amazing, has been turned into a lipstick maybe I think about a year ago, and then more recently has also made it to a blush and an eyeshadow palette. These two are absolutely stunning. So it's that kind of dusky, nudie, mauvey pink that is so perfect, and she's now changed it or kind of incorporated that colour into blush and eyeshadows. The Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow palettes alone are just the most stunning thing. And the blush I think looks really cool. It actually has more of a highlight colour in the middle. These are her Pop and Swish and Glow blushes. I really like these. The formulas are really pigmented. I'm gonna do a little swish. Oh, there's definitely a lot of, can you see that on camera? There's definitely a lot of highlight to it. I think it's picked up the middle shade a lot. Just looks like a really pretty neutral kind of blush colour. I'm so into my neutrals. So another question, how is working with your brother? So if you guys don't know, you probably already do, Sam has now been working for me for over a year. It has, or it was a year in June. How time flies when you're trying not to strangle each other. But no, we've actually gotten on so well, which isn't something that I was ever worried about. But yeah, it's just kind of quite fun to work with a sibling. Possibly there are times when we're not the most productive, because we get carried away very easily with things. I think that's a trait that both of us share. But yes, it's definitely made such a massive change. Sam takes on a lot more now in terms of the creative side of I Covet Thee. He definitely brought some really good ideas to the table when we were thinking about stuff that we could do, and how I've been shifting my content more towards style and styling and things like that, how I can incorporate showing you my outfits and the things I'm wearing every day into something more. So that's quite exciting for me. Also makes me want to ask you guys a question as well, because right now we are sitting down playing with makeup and stuff, but makeup and beauty is where my channel started, and it's definitely something that I've been doing less and less of, and something I've noticed that you guys are watching less and less of. It's definitely my fashion content that gets a lot more views and engagement, which is really encouraging. But yeah, let me know if you're more into that, or if you do still want to see like the good old everyday makeups and beauty favorites and things like that here on this channel. Speaking of makeup, let's put some more makeup on. I have got the new Benefit Brow Contour Pro. Now this is going to bring back some serious nostalgia, because it looks like one of these pens that you had in school where you get all the different colors and flick them up. To me, this is kind of awesome. This is so cool. So you get a highlighter on here, a light shade, a dark shade, and a definer. Basically all the things you need for a perfect Instagram brow. I'm gonna try a couple of these. I'm gonna start, ooh, is that right? I'm gonna start with the lighter shade and see what that does. So I did touch on this briefly a minute ago, but one of the questions from you guys is, what's your workout routine? I've actually had a lot of questions about how I've been exercising, tips on losing weight, stuff like that. I have touched on this briefly before, but obviously you guys know I've been eating pretty much a plant-based diet. I've been doing that kind of consistently since January, and okay, it's really hard to talk and do your eyebrows at the same time. And yeah, I have been exercising. I've been doing the same kind of thing that I talked about before, which is following the Couch to 5K app. I did kind of get to a point with it where I couldn't move on to the next stages as easily as I was doing before. There gets to a point where you just do a straight out run with no breaks, which sounds kind of scary, and it's something that physically I can do. It's just my mind. I think when it comes to running, it's such a mental thing. So yeah, that did discourage me a little bit because I was running and I wasn't feeling like I couldn't go on. I was getting bored. So if you guys are runners and you do have any tips about how to break that kind of wall of just solidly running and maybe going into a different zone, that would be very helpful. The more I do it, the better I feel. I definitely enjoy running, not just for the exercise benefits, but for clearing my mind. And I find it helps so much with anxiety and just feeling calmer, and sleeping better as well. I do notice the nights that I run, or if I haven't done it for a while and I do a good run, I sleep so much better and I wake up way more refreshed. And I think that is just exercise in general, but yeah, it does make me feel really good, so it's something that I've carried on with. It's kind of frustrating me that this doesn't have a spoolie, so I'm having to reach for my other Benefit brow product just to brush them through. I've used the lighter shade and it's actually quite dark, so I'm not going to go for the darker one. I am intrigued to use this highlighter though. Under here, is this what you do? Ooh, it's kind of very skin toned, but I'm just running it underneath my brow and it's kind of cleaning up the edges. I think that does actually make quite a bit of a difference. This is my bad brow anyway, so ignore. This is definitely something I would use way more if it did have a spoolie on it. I can't live my life without a little brow brush. So I do have the Charlotte Tilbury eye palette to use, but I also have these Hourglass Scattered Light glitter shadows. These to me look so gorgeous. I've seen a lot of swatches of them and they look amazing. So I can't tell if these are cream eyeshadows or if they're just pressed. Oh, they actually don't feel that creamy. It's not quite as glittery as I thought it would be. They do remind me a lot of the old L'Oreal Infallible pressed shadows, which I loved and then they discontinued. It makes me want to use a brush actually, because they do feel quite powdery. So there's a lot of questions about my style. Can you describe your style evolution? I actually really like this one. Where was it? Can you describe how your style has evolved since you started your 20s? So I am now 26. We've made it there. So I think my style in my 20s changed so dramatically, and I think I'm also very aware of it because obviously I've been blogging and doing YouTube for my entire 20s, is that right? You know, there's always a place for me to look back and see some very cringy photos and outfits that should never have been. I think I was in a place for a really long time, and in fact maybe even up until this year, where my style was kind of based very much on trends, but things that I just liked. So if I saw something and I liked it and I liked the way it looked, I would just buy it. And I had a lot of pieces in my wardrobe that weren't very cohesive with each other. I was thinking about individual items rather than outfits, and I think that's probably something that everyone can fall into. It's very easy to go shopping or to look online and just pick out a bunch of things that you really, really like. And not to say that that's a bad thing, but I found personally that when I started thinking about my wardrobe as more of a whole thing than just different individual pieces, and that's really when my style started coming together. Still not, I'd say, a fashionable, stylish person, but I do know what I like now more, and I think that's so much more important. If you dress the way you want to, you can dress however you want, you know? I think just knowing what you like, knowing what makes you feel good is the most important thing. So for me, I actually started thinking more about colours, so the colour palette of my wardrobe, because I did notice a lot when I was doing my spring clear outs and the series that I have on that. You can go and watch all those up here somewhere if you want to. It was really interesting watching that back because I had so many things of so many different colours that just never went together and just odd pieces that had no place being there. And yeah, I noticed that I kind of had to trim it down and keep a more concise colour palette. And that's what I did, and I really fell in love with neutrals and things like really basic pieces in some basic colours, because realistically they can go together with everything. So I kind of would describe my wardrobe and my style as being a capsule. It's not a capsule in the conventional sense where you only have, say, like 25 items, because that's definitely not the case. But I'd say it's a capsule in that everything does gel together and work together well. And if you have that, I feel like you can treat it as a capsule wardrobe where anything will go with anything, and there are so many more options for outfits because each piece can work together in a different way. So I guess that's my main tip when it comes to really thinking about your wardrobe if you want it to be something that is more cohesive. Also, a lot of the questions were about where do you get your inspiration for your style, and honestly, it's just Instagram. I scroll through the Instagram Explore page. The people that I follow inspire me massively. I am still a person that reads blogs and watches videos, and I get very inspired by the people creating around me as well. That eyeshadow is nice. It's actually way more subtle than I thought it would be. I've used the colour Smoke. I think it's pretty. It's just a very nice neutral shade. I'm going to leave it there for eyeshadow actually and just go straight onto mascara. And I have these. They are new from YSL Beauty. It's the Mascara Volume Effect Fossils, the curler and the primer. This is cool to me because I never ever use lash primer. It's pink. It has this little short stubby plastic bristle brush with the pink primer on it, and this is supposed to really curl your lashes, so gonna give this one a go. I don't know if I'm supposed to put this on and let it dry or just go straight on with the mascara. Oh, I've got pink eyelashes. This is funny. I used to actually have a pink mascara when I was maybe 13 and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. Dread to think that there might be photos of me wearing that, but that is for another day and another video. So I thought this question was quite interesting. It was, do you consider yourself an introvert and how do you cope within an extroverted industry? I would say YouTube and blogging and everything is definitely, or definitely has both sides of that coin. It does seem, and it is a very extroverted and big and colourful industry. But I also think it is made up of quite a few introverts. I think, although it may seem like you need to be a big extroverted person to be on YouTube, I think the whole premise of it and where it started originally was people sitting alone in their bedrooms talking to a camera, and I think it's a very comfortable place for introverts to be, and I would definitely call myself an introvert. I think I'm a introverted introvert, which is the most extreme of the four that you can be. So yeah, I am a homebody. I definitely enjoy being in my own space and having control over a situation. Obviously, this isn't something that applies for everybody for sure. I think there are so many different personalities and different people on YouTube, which is what makes it so great. Can I just say this mascara is not doing well? Look how clumpy that is. So it can be difficult, yes. It's not always a place that I feel comfortable in. It's definitely outside of my comfort zone to be going to big events and traveling up to London a lot, but it's something that I guess the older you get, and this is going to sound like such a cliche, but it is so true, the older you get, you stop worrying and you stop caring so much about what other people think, and you actually learn to realize that everybody is in the same boat as you and everybody is feeling the same things. I cannot say that I love this mascara. I feel like I definitely need to try it without the primer. I think the primer's maybe clogged everything up a little bit because I was talking for so long as well and I let it dry. As far as curling goes, I think it's definitely curled my lashes a lot. I can really see them kind of popping and sticking up. So I will give it another go, but maybe the primer is the one that's not for me. I've got a lot of questions from you guys about vlogs, specifically things like Vlogtober, Vlogmas, what I'm going to be doing with that. And I know I did start the weekly vlog, it must have been quite a few months ago now, and it's kind of something that I haven't revisited for a while. And vlogs to me, I really enjoy making, I enjoy editing them, I enjoy just having them there on my channel. I think they're definitely the most engaging form of content that is available to everyone on YouTube. But as you guys know, and I've talked about this a lot before, I do struggle with the level that I should be sharing with you. I always do struggle with this, and it's kind of a balance between wanting to share the things that I'm going through, and whether that's just like an everyday boring day at home or some of the bigger stuff. The struggle for me is that I want to share that with you guys and I want to talk about it because I think, and I know that there are so many of us that can relate, and it's just so good to talk. But then at the same time, I just still don't know how to do it, and I want to do it justice and do it the right way. So when I am having really down days and I just don't want to be near a camera, I don't want to talk to another human, I'm still trying to find the way to kind of talk about and share that with you guys, and make it something that's going to have a positive impact on you, not just me moaning or complaining or being upset, something that's actually going to be uplifting and help, because what more can I do really? If I'm going to share that part of my life with you, it's going to have to be for a reason that is beneficial. As for vlogs, because vlogs don't have to be about that, they can be boring and lighthearted. I do love a good boring at-home vlog personally when I watch them from other people. I think definitely I will be vlogging more towards the end of the year. It's always more exciting when it comes to autumn and winter and Christmas. There's just way more going on. So yeah, definitely expect to see some more vlogs. I'm just going to keep them casual, maybe just upload them and film them when I feel like it and not have any set days and things like that. But it is nice to know that you guys have been missing them. What's left in the bag? I have something fun, and I kind of feel a little bit bad about showing you guys this because I think it might be sold out. Let me just check that actually. Oh no, it's not. Okay, this is fine then. So I have here in some really, really cool packaging, the Jamie Genevieve for MAC lipstick. I've had this sitting in my drawer for a really long time and I haven't used it, and I've been dying to try it. It's a satin lipstick and it looks like such an amazing brownie nude color. I haven't gone near a red lipstick or a bright lipstick at all. I've been so much more into nudes and everything like that. So this is definitely something really up my street at the moment. I haven't used a MAC lipstick for a while, so I'm excited to try this. It's actually very brown toned. It's more brown toned and slightly paler than I would normally go for, but I don't dislike it. I should have done this first, but I'm just gonna line my lips a little bit because it's quite a light shade and I feel like it just needs a little bit of definition around here. Ah, good old Makeup Forever Aqua Lip in 3C. Why have you been discontinued? Ooh, yes, I like those two together a lot. I think that's going to be a really good lip combo. The Makeup Forever lip liner and then the Jamie lipstick. Ooh. So let's just answer a few more questions while I'm here. Let me get through the rest of these while I can. If I don't answer all of them, I might start doing them on Insta stories as well. So if you guys follow me on there and I didn't answer your question, I might get round to it later. What would you say is the one item in your closet that is a staple? I can give you two for sure. A good pair of jeans, absolutely, and a basic tee. So I'd say either a white tee or black tee, just a basic plain tee, absolute staple in my wardrobe for sure. Go get yourself the H&M $3.99 basic t-shirts. I will link them down below. Amazing. I've washed mine so much and it's still perfect. It's the best t-shirt ever. What's your favorite book you've read in the last year? I've also got a lot of questions about when you're going to be doing some book reviews. Why aren't you talking about books anymore? If you guys follow me on Goodreads, which again, it will be linked down below, my reading this year has been shocking. I've set myself a challenge. I think it was to do 2 or 3, maybe even 4 books a month. And we're in September now and I have read 6. So although I have piles and piles of them just everywhere I look, I think I'm never more than an arm's length away from a book. I just haven't really been reading at the moment, which is something that really upsets me because it's one of my favourite things. There's nothing better than getting absorbed in a good book. But next on my to-read list is Crazy Rich Asians. I really want to read it because I want to see the film and I hear it's really, really good. So I think I actually have that on order from Amazon at the moment. It's on its way. I also started reading The Lido, which is kind of like a summer, I think it's like a summer thriller, and didn't really get past a couple of pages of that. So I think when it comes to book genres, there's definitely specific ones that I do like and will read. But the best book I've read so far this year is The Wildflowers by Harriet Evans. That book was amazing. I highly recommend you guys read it. How's your garden makeover coming? I think it's probably the last time I vlogged was when I was in the process of doing the garden. It has been finished now. I spent hours and hours painting wood and decking and fences, but it is done now and it's amazing and I really enjoyed spending summer out there. So the next time I do pick up the vlogging camera, I will definitely show you guys the progress and what's been happening out there. Somebody's asked me about giving up coffee a while ago, which I talked about in, I think it was a favourites video, and how it's going and if I have any tips. And yes, I haven't had caffeine or coffee caffeine. I know there's caffeine in tea and things like that, but I haven't had it solidly now for about a month, and I'm honestly in such a better place. I don't know if it's other factors coming in contributing to that, but I feel so good. I miss coffee so much. I miss the routine of it. I miss the taste and the smell. And I do still drink decaf coffee. And whenever I order a coffee when I'm out, I do get a decaf one. And it just, for some reason, doesn't quite satisfy me as much, but it's like a little placebo effect. It's still there. I don't think I will go back to drinking it anytime soon, because it's just helped reduce so much anxiety. Like I said, I think other things are factoring into that as well, but just having that baseline of not instantly having heart palpitations and feeling on edge, which is what happened when I used to drink coffee, is amazing. So yeah, I think it's hard to do, but as far as tips go, find your replacements, find decaf, find tea, find things that you can drink and feel good with, but just persevere and keep going, persevere, because I do feel so much better. I think I am gonna leave it there for the questions. I hope you guys have enjoyed getting ready with me today. It's so nice to sit down and have a chat and actually be able to kind of answer things that you've wanted me to answer for a while and talk to you. So yes, like I said at the beginning, I have been filming quite a lot this week, so I've got some good videos coming up for you guys that I think you're going to really enjoy. But until then, that is it from me now, and I will see you guys soon. Bye.